Kia ora te rau. Welcome whānau to the War on News. Your weekly sacred cow slaughtering assault on current affairs beamed live from the Palatial Stratus news bunker buried deep beneath the heart of the Greyland Republic. If this show was selecting a new leader for Labour based on being liked, it would be a fluffy wuffy kitten who quietly supported gender equality through a progressive tax system. In tonight's political media crimes against reason kill zone, Labour Party coven select David Shearer as their messiah in political X Factor game show. South Canterbury Finance's magical golden money pyramid of eternal providence. What's the difference between John Key's reshuffled cabinet and a cactus, plus this week's Wanko the Week award? Leading the war on news this week, brothers and sisters, the final count is in. And despite being financed by some of the richest political donors in the game, the ACT Party was beaten by the Mana Party in total number of votes. That's like Russia beating the All Blacks in the Rugby World Cup final, or a whale sinking a Japanese scientific whaling ship, or David Shearer beating John Key in 2014. For a tiny party like Mana to beat the party Don Brash predicted would gain 15% party vote share in this year's election, that's hilarious. ACT's demise is a political reminder that no matter how much glitter you roll a turd in, it's still a turd and glitter. To the headlines, whānau. Labour Party coven select David Shearer as their messiah. He'll be healing sick children on a tour of provincial shopping malls between the hours of 10 a.m, 11 a.m, and 1 p.m, with a matinee session on Saturdays. In yet another example of intergenerational theft, a baby boomer has stiffed a Gen Xer for a job. The younger Cunliffe has been denied leadership for another bloody baby boomer. Yay! Their bloated locust generation hangs on yet again, denying Gen Xers their rightful generational leadership. And don't mention Grant Robinson. If he's the answer, the question must have been, how can Wellington be unhelpful? Fresh from washing the tear gas out of his UN-designated suit, David Shearer, as the new leader of the Labour Party, must first decide what embassy to banish David Cunliffe to while keeping as far away from John Key as humanly possible. The strategy used by the Labour Party coven is simple. Pick someone New Zealand will like more than John Key and hope the electorate have tired of National in 3 years. If that doesn't sound like much of a strategy, then that's because it's not much of a strategy. When the John Key dingo picks up the David Shearer baby in his jaws on the first day of Parliament and violently rips the David Shearer baby limb from limb and slinks off licking its bloodied maw, leaving the David Shearer baby shredded on the floor of the debating chamber, the "but David Shearer is likeable" mantra chanted by far-right bloggers like David Farrar will suddenly sound very hollow and slightly disingenuous. To the headlines, whānau. Charges have been laid against South Canterbury Finance's magical golden money pyramid of eternal providences. So let's get this straight. South Canterbury Finance's Mr. Magoo, Alan Hubbard, who didn't bother with silly old paperwork, embarked on risky deals once South Canterbury Finance was readmitted into the guarantee scheme, because once it was readmitted, everyone knew their money was guaranteed by us, the taxpayer. Now, I don't wish to be critical. Who am I kidding? I love being critical. But how is a $1.7 billion bailout to the late Mr. Magoo anything other than politically connected crony capitalism? Wasn't the readmission of South Canterbury Finance prudent ass-kissing for the wealthy and well-connected who jumped in to greedily milk this guarantee scheme for as much as they could? We had to bail out National's well-connected money mates for the national interest because, Lord knows, if well-connected National Party chums are out of pocket, it's the most pressing issue that needs to be passed with as little scrutiny as possible. Isn't it hilarious? 30 million is all we would have to pay per year to feed every child in poverty-stricken schools, compared to the 1.7 billion we will pay greedy investors for being greedy. The one question New Zealanders should be asking Bill English now the Serious Fraud Office investigation is underway is, dude, where's my economy? To the headlines, whānau. What's the difference between John Key's reshuffled cabinet and a cactus? Nothing. They are both thick-skinned and surrounded by pricks. John Key has made a list, checking it once and then checking it twice with Stephen Joyce. And he's handed out presents to all his MPs who haven't been naughty and have been nice. Stephen Joyce gets promoted to the position of Prime Minister's brain, a sizable step up from the PM sphincter. Judith Collins becomes Minister for Frightening Children, while Paula Bennett's Benny bashing gets her a number 9 spot, and for forcing solo mothers out to work earlier, she's also been given a car park closer to work and an extra 30 minutes each day for lunch. Whānau, let's finish the show by handing out this week's Wanko of the Week award. This week's Wanko of the Week, brothers and sisters, has to go to the mainstream media and their constant claims of John Key having 10,000% support in each of their flawed landline telephone polls over the last 3 years. They created a perception of a decision that was already made. That wasn't representing public opinion, it was manipulating it. John Key has wasted no time in claiming his 32% result against the total number of those enrolled means he has a mandate to pursue vast privatisation programs that empower the wealthy while pushing the poor further away from equality. Thanks to the mainstream media, who switched off a voting public. We have the makings of an extreme government. How much worse can this get if National also privatised TVNZ and sell off the last vestige of public broadcasting when they convert TVNZ7 into a shopping network? That's like converting a cathedral into a brothel fronting for a meth lab. That's it for tonight, folks. Don't forget to follow me on my Citizen Bomber Twitter and Facebook site. It has all the shows posted up online and allows you to befriend other like-minded news citizens for romantic news moments. Good night, New Zealand. You stay classy, Aotearoa. Righto.